Hi, my name is Maycha'al Aaron and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to answer the age-old question. Are we a religion? This question just seems to be coming up all the time. What religion are you? Are you Muslim? And people ask that because maybe they see the way I wrap my head, or they might see this banner on my hands called a tatapat, or this is the 10 words written in Hebrews around my hand. We're commanded to bind it upon our hands. So this is the 10 words. So 10 words are 10 commandments. And so many are asking me when they see this, who are you? What are you about? Are you Muslim? What religion are you? Because if you're not Muslim, then what religion are you? And so I want to take this time to answer this question as I make my smoothie. So if you don't mind joining me and learn a little bit more and put to rest the age-old question of are we a religion or not, I'm going to answer that for you today, okay? All right, so while I make my smoothies, you will hear the blender going off, so don't mind that, all right? But we're going to make the smoothie today. We're going to have a good time doing that. You know, this is kind of my morning routine. I don't always often make smoothies, but I do like it. And it's simple. The smoothies I make is very, very simple. I think you've seen it before in one of my videos, but I use buku or coconut water. Sweating already, it's early in the morning. I use buku or coconut water and bananas. Sometimes I froze the banana. Sometimes sometimes I use pineapple, mango. I use some a little bit of cayenne pepper, sea salt, cinnamon, milk, condensed milk, and I drink that. And you know, it's amazing. I drink that in the morning, and tell you the truth, I don't want anything else until 2 o'clock because I do an intermittent fasting. You know, I try to not eat before 12 o'clock. As you can see, it's now about 10 minutes to 12. So I try not to eat before 12. And between 12 and 4, I just gump everything. You know, I just eat. Around 4 or 5, 4 o'clock, I kind of stop eating. And then I might eat some fruits or, you know, water and stuff like that. So, yeah, so here we go. All right, so let's get it, man. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. So, are we a religion? The answer is no. We're not a religion. There you have it. Thank you for watching my vlog, my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe. All right, and hit that notification bell because I want to notify you when I get, you know, drop these great content. There it is. No, we're not a religion. That should have been it, right? That should be it. You ask the question, I answer it. No, we're not a religion. But I know you want to know, then what are you? If you're not a religion, what are you? All right. Come back for the next video where I'll answer that question. Nah, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that to you. Okay. We are a culture. We are a culture. We're not a religion, we're a culture. This is who we are from after the flood. After the flood, this is who we are. After Abram, this is who we are. We worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now I know all of Christianity will tell you that they worship that God too. Hi honey, how you doing? Say hi. So beautiful. It's my woman, man. right? I know all Christendom will tell you they worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And if you talk to any religious person, they'll tell you there's only one God. So how can there be one God worshiping so many different ways from so many different religions? Somebody got to be right, somebody got to be wrong. But then you have to ask yourself the question, and you have to look at the age-old word, religion. In our Bible, in the Torah, the word has never been mentioned at all. Not one time have the word religion have ever been mentioned. Now, when I say Torah and Thiota, what I'm saying is the law and the prophet. The first 5 books of Masha, aka Moses, are the laws. And it has never been mentioned ever. The other books are prophets, are the Thiota, which it has never, the word religion has never ever once been mentioned. A matter of fact, if you're a New Testament reader, you will realize the word religion was only mentioned twice in the New Testament. 2 times. The word religious was mentioned 3 times. A matter of fact, if you want to go even further into your studies, if you look up the word Christian, you will see that that word has not been mentioned more than 3 times. Just 3 times. 2 times in the book of Acts and 1 time in Peter. And that one place it tells you what a Christian is, or the lifestyle of a Christian. And the clue to it is that the disciples were first called Christian in Antioch. Now think about that. And we're talking about 400 or 500 years after the fact, right? We're not talking about something that happened immediately. A matter of fact, if you truly is a student of the word, you will realize that Jesus, the so-called Jesus, and I say so-called Jesus, never preached the New Testament. It was never around when he was alive. It was never around when he walked the earth. He never preached the New Testament. He preached Torah and Thiota, the law and the prophet. Think not that I've come to change the law nor the prophet. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill. And people look up the word fulfill and they think it means end. No, it means to carry out. I come to demonstrate it. I come to live it. I come to uphold it. I come to make it bigger and brighter and magnify it. That's what he taught. And that's what the Pharisees had a problem with, and the Sadducees have a problem with, because, here's why. Because the custom that they handed down of the changing of the laws that they handed down for themselves, that becomes tradition, has trumped the law and the prophets. They didn't want that. They wanted their traditions. So we are not religious in no shape or form. Why we do not eat pork? We don't eat pork because we're commanded by our God not to eat pork. He's the God of the Hebrew. He's not the God of this world. He made the world and everything in it. He owns every soul, every blade of grass. Everything on this planet belongs to him. But not everything on this planet worships him. Not everything on this planet worships the Creator. And so you have to go back into history. You know, people look at the King James Version as if it's the infallible word of God. And it's not. You have to look and see how you got the version. And that's why it says the King James Version. You have a versions of the Bible. And what most people don't know is that all these versions are versions created from the original copies of the copies of the copies of the copies, and then they're telling you that it's no longer in existence. But because we believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because we believe in that God, we know he's going to restore his words, because that's what he said, and he's going to prove it to us by, raising up a prophet, because no kingdom, no so-called church stands without a prophet. And so he raises up a prophet, And that prophet is the ravenous bird who has restored his name to us. And we heard it because we're always searching for it. And it changed our lives. We're not the same. You know what I mean? So we're not a religion. We are a culture that was stolen from us. A culture, because of our ancestors' disobedience, they were sold into slavery by the Africans. Yeah, you heard me. Yeah, that's another question that keep coming up too, because people mistake me for African. And when they, oh, you don't really look like an African, but you must be African American. Well, here's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. We're neither African nor Americans. You know that name came up with Jesse Jackson back in the early 80s, 70s, 80s. We're not African Americans. We're not African, nor we Americans. We are Maycha'al, the true bloodline of the descendant of Abraham through Isaac, through Jacob. And if you can trace your lineage through the transatlantic slave trade, then you are the bloodline covenant seed of the Creator. That's who we are. That's who I am. I am not religious. We don't eat pork because we're commanded in the law not to eat pork. Our God commands us not to eat pork. Now, will we look down on you because you eat pork? No. You don't worship the God we worship. I don't expect you to obey his laws. I don't expect you to keep his commands. You don't worship this God. That's why when people say, oh, we worship the same God, you call him Buddha, you call him Allah, you call him Jesus, no. We don't worship those gods. We worship the one true living God whose name is Yahweh. That's the God we worship. And that's what separates us from the rest of the world. It's not even our bloodline. It's not of our bloodline because there's many of our people who have the blood, who can trace their lineage to the transatlantic slave trade, but are trapped in religion, trapped in all types of religion. They don't know the God of heaven, the creator of heaven and earth. They don't know the God we know. And I know it sounds crazy because everybody claimed to have the truth. Everybody claimed to know the truth. Everybody claimed to be a part of the truth or raised in the truth. But at the end of the day, the God of heaven has to prove himself. He has to show himself. I can speak to you till my neck is bent, till my eyes turn blue, my body turn pale, my skin turn pale. It doesn't mean a damn thing. So that's why I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not trying to convert you. I'm not trying to tell you that you're wrong, I'm right. I'm past that. I'm past that. I'm here to tell you straight up, we don't worship your God. We don't worship everybody's God. You look at the Bible, you look at the Old Testament. All the nations have different gods that they worship. If you look at all the empires that was forged over the years, they all worship their own gods. The Babylonians have their many gods. The Medes and the Persians has their many gods. The Greeks had their many gods, of which they incorporate into the Roman Empire, which incorporate their gods along with all the other gods, formulate and create this religion called Christianity. Now I know some of you might say, well, Christianity been around since Egypt. That may be true, that may be so. But what the point is this: what Christianity is now is not what was around in Ethiopia. My bad if I said Egypt. Ethiopia. That's not what was around. Because if you look at the Ethiopian Christians and how they practice their religion, it's nothing like Christianity practice right now. You see? So whatever form of Christian you are, you're Roman. You're Roman Catholic. If you believe that there's three in one God or one God in three person, You're Roman. That's a Roman doctrine. It's not only a Roman doctrine, it's pagan in origin. All of these religion, all of these religion, all of these empires, nation worship a triune God. Now the Muslims claim they worship one God whose name is Allah. But if you look at the history of Allah and you look at the history of the Muslim religion, if you really pay close attention, believe it or not, the Muslims worship Jesus. They don't believe that Jesus is a prophet. They don't believe that Jesus is the so-called Son of God. They believe in the prophet, but if you look at the words, if you look at some of their words, it line up to the one who is. That's why Mary is so prevalent in the Muslim religion, in the Islamic religion. They worship and honor Mary. Well, they won't tell you that, but Mary has a high honor in the Islamic religion, our religion. But I'm not here to knock anyone's religion. That's not what we're about. We're not here to knock anyone's religion. I just want to answer the question as to who we are. And I wanted to let you know that we're not religious and we're not part of any religious organization on this planet. Okay? We're not part of any religious organization. We are Maycha'al, the bloodline seed of the children of Abraham, passed down through the centuries, sold by Africans to the Portuguese and the French and the Saxons, England, and shipped all across the Aegean because our ancestors went off and worshiped other gods, break his commands, break the Shabbat, and just turn their backs away from the God that they worship and start worshiping other gods. And because of that, they were sold into slavery, and we are the children of that. We are the children of children of destruction because we were brought up in slavery, worshiping gods our forefathers did not know. Worshiping gods our forefathers did not know. Worshiping, lost our names, carry our slave masters' names, lost our identity, lost our culture, and we're immersed in a culture worshiping a God and living the life of an enslaved person and an enslaved mind. But now, thanks be to Yahweh that he sent his prophet to restore the truth of his name back to us. And now we have our name again. So not only the name of our God, whose name is Yahweh, has been restored to us, he, the creator, has restored our name. That's why I'm no longer Maycha'al. I'm Maycha'al ban Aaron. Someone asked me, he says, you called yourself Maycha'al ban Maycha'al, and now you say Maycha'al ban Aaron. It's one and the same. Maycha'al is our nation. It's what you would say Israel, but we don't use the word Israel and we don't use the name Israel because that's not who we are. You see, Ra, and El is three gods. It's a triune God that makes up the name or the word or the title Israel. It's not written in our laws. You can't find that nowhere. We're not Israel, and we're not connected to the Hebrew Israelites in America and all over the place who hate white people and having this mindset that the 12 tribes are scattered and they're different countries. No, we don't believe that at all. If you cannot trace your lineage through the transatlantic slave trade, you are not Maycha'al. So we're not Hebrew Israelites, nor are we mixed in with any religious organization or anyone who claimed to be Hebrew. We are Maycha'al, a total separate entity. And we don't hate white people. Okay? White people is in our midst. We don't hate different people or different cultures. They're in our midst. Anyone who joined themselves to Yahweh is our brother and sisters. And we are commanded to treat them like brothers, like one born in our own house. Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah had given you the blueprint. Isaiah 56, the blueprint is right there. And it tells you if you join yourself to the Creator, to love Him, to serve Him, to keep His covenant, and to keep His Shabbat, He said He will take you in. And that's what it is. So you can join us, but we cannot join you. And I don't want you to be offended by that. We cannot join your religion. We cannot eat the foods we're commanded not to eat because we have a culture, a covenant with the God of heaven who command us not to eat that. And part of our obligation to Him and our obligation to ourselves is to obey Him. And that's how we serve Him. That's how we connected to Him. We're connected to Him not to our bloodline only, but to our obedience. Because if you have the bloodline and you can trace your lineage to the transatlantic slave trade, guess what? If you're not obedient, if you're not following Him, if you're not doing what He says, then you're going to be destroyed as well. We keep telling you that a big rock is coming from the heavens and it's going to destroy Washington, D.C., and it's going to destroy all of the East Coast, all the way up to New York, the North and South. It's going to destroy all of that. Washington, all the way up to New York, all Pennsylvania, it's going to be destroyed. And until the Creator do what He says He's going to do, we're just another name in the wilderness. As for me, though, and my house, this is where we're going to be. There's no going back to America for me. There's no going into no religion for me. There's no, oh, I made a mistake. No, I didn't make a mistake. Because no one gave me this name. I asked for it. I asked for it, and He pointed me in the direction where His name was, and I believe it with all my heart, and I gave up a lot to come here. So I hope that answers your question. I hope that answers your question, because I really wanted to get this done. Get this done. Yeah, we're not Christians. We're not Muslims. We're not Buddhists. We're not Scientology. We're not any form of religion that you can think of or come up with. We're just not that. We're not that people. Okay? We are Maycha'al. And we live in the Philippines. And we're not here, lastly, we're not here to take over the Philippines. You know, we had a run-in with the people. We lived in Magnolia. And everyone thought we came to take over this place. And Magnolia is our promised land. And we're come to kill off everybody and take it. People were buying axe and machete and putting cameras on their doors and extra locks. No, that's not what we're here. We're not here to take over the Philippines. The Philippines is not our promised land. Here's what the Philippines is, if you don't know yet. The Philippines is actually the birthplace of creation. This is where creation actually starts. And here's the thing. After the flood, this is where the earth got repopulated, because the ark is on Kilimanjaro, Mount Everest, the most tallest mountain. That is where the ark is. That's why most people can get up to a certain height before they drop dead, right? But that's where the ark is. And this is the place where humanity starts over. This is where He starts over. And He brought us here so that we can renew power. And so you have to look at the Ravenous Bird page, man, because he has all the information there for you. I won't do you justice if I start telling you. I won't do you justice. But if you go on the Ravenous Bird page, you're going to learn so much. You're going to see so much. You're going to understand so much that then you would be left without a doubt. Even if you don't believe what I'm saying, you will get an understanding. So once again, as I close, or in closing, we're not religious. We are not part of any religion. We are not Muslims. We are not Christians. These are the two biggest religions that our people are trapped in. We are Maycha'al. And we did not come here to kill you and take over your land and take over your... No, that's not... This is not our promised land. This is not the land promised to our forefathers and to his descendants. It's not it. You know, we will go over and we will take the land, but not by might nor by power, by his rope. And everything we do is based upon what he commands. And until you guys see this, you're not going to believe it. So hold on. Because this video is to let you hear, is to give you the information. So when it happened, you can't say you didn't know. You can't say you didn't hear. I'm telling you, this is it. And we're in the Philippines to renew power. We do not want to live in the land of our enslavement, of our slave masters. And that's why we came to the Philippines, because we do not want to live in the land of our slave masters by the commandment and the will of the Creator. All right? So that's why we're here. I hope I answer your question. And I hope if when you see me in the streets, you can tell me, hey, I watched this video and I hear you and I fully understand. And I will appreciate that very, very much. All right? Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And yeah, man. And yeah. And when you see me in the street, just come and say hi to me. All right? I won't bite you, I promise. As you can see, this is me all the time. I'm not fake. This is me. You know, I love Philippines and I love the Filipino people, and this is our home for at least 94 years. You know, and I hope I live to see it all. All right? Until next time. Love you guys. Shalom.